Daniel's and Revelation, Prophecies interpretations, End Times, Calendar, Rapture in the September 2025 Equinox. Daniel chapter 9 verses 24 to 27. KJV, the week's calculation. Daniel chapter 9 verses 24 to 27 literal translation from the Masoretic Hebrew 9:24. 70 weeks are determined upon your people and upon your holy city, to put an end to transgression, to seal up sins, to make atonement for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophet, and to anoint the most holy. A week is a set of 7 something. It usually is used as 7 years, but it can also mean 7 jubilees, 49 years, or even 7 multiples of 7s, e.g. 7 asterisk 7 asterisk 7 asterisk 7, 7. But as you can guess, it will give rise to astronomical numbers, so, usually, we understand a week as 7 years or 7 jubilees. So the 70 weeks can mean 77 years equals 490 years, or 49 years equals 3,430 years. But what is the year used? 365 days? Or the regular Hebraic year of 354 days? The Hebraic calendar is complex, but if some asks a Jew how many days are in 5 Hebraic years, he will probably answer 5 asterisk 354 days equals 1770. The same happens when we deal with months. There are months of 28, 29, 30, or 31 days, but if we ask how many days are in 5 months, we will say 150. That is why we will use the mean Hebraic year of 354 days. So, 490 Hebraic years equals 475 Gregorian years, and 3,430 equals 3,327 Gregorian years. The start time is the rebuild of the Jerusalem walls, that is the year 445 AC. Daniel chapter 9 verses 24 to 27. KJV, the week's calculation. Let us do the math starting by using the 7 years weeks. 77 years equals 490 Hebraic years equals 475 years. Starting at 445 AC, we get to 475 to 444. Because there wasn't the year 0, equals 31 add. And according to the next verse, the number of weeks to the anointed one will be 7 weeks plus 62 weeks equals 69 weeks. So we get 69 times 7 equals 483 Hebraic years, or 469 Gregorian. Starting at 445 AC, we come to 469 minus 444 equals 25 add. So, who do you know that was alive between 25 add and 31 add? Jesus? Remember that these numbers are not absolute, so between the 69 and the 70 week we should have a period of 7 years. It is known also that Jesus probably was born around 5 AC. So we must admit that he was around 29/30 yo and should last to 36/37 yo, but we know he was crucified in the middle of the week. The text states 7 weeks plus 62 weeks, so one can think that these weeks can be different from each other, so if we try combining the two we get 7 asterisk 49 plus 7 asterisk 62. Because 62 by 49 would be a huge number, we will get this number. 777. This is the divine number, the God's signature. So Daniel prophesies a man living between 25 and 31 AD, and it signals the 777 divine number. 9:25. And you shall know and discern, from the going forth of the word to restore and to build Jerusalem until the anointed one, the prince, shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. It will be rebuilt with plaza and moat, but in troubled times. Daniel chapter 9 verses 24 to 27. KJV, the week's calculation. 9:27. And he shall make a firm covenant with many for 1 week, and in the middle of the week he shall cause sacrifice and offering to cease, and upon the wing of abominations shall come the desolator, and until the determined end, it shall be poured out upon the desolator. And in 9:27 Daniel talks about that middle of the week. He says that he shall cause sacrifice and offerings to cease. That is what Jesus has done because he made the ultimate sacrifice. From that point forward the offerings and sacrifices done to God were meaningless. But what about the covenant with many? Jesus made a covenant with many. Those many were the apostles, and the last one of them was Saul, that turned into Paul after his encounter with Jesus in the road to Damascus, about 3 or 4 years after Jesus' crucifixion. So the covenant with many was fulfilled after Paul's conversion. And the abomination of desolation was Jesus left to die alone in the cross, desolate. His destiny was fulfilled, that is, poured upon him. But he was also the desolator because he desolates the temple. The temple was turned into himself, as he said that he would rebuild it in 3 days, the time he was dead before he was resurrected. This verse has been misinterpreted by many as pointing to the Antichrist, but Jesus is the one foretold by Daniel in it. Daniel chapter 9 verses 24 to 27. KJV, the week's calculation. 9:26. And after the 62 weeks, the anointed one shall be cut off, and nothing shall be for him. And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. And its end shall be with a flood. And to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed. The 9:26 verse is a little more complicated. After the 62 week, that passed after the first 7, the anointed one shall be cut off. The anointed one is the Messiah or Christ, and it is said in 9:24 that the 70 weeks are to anoint the most holy. But the most holy is God. No other entity is holier. So, once again the divinity of Jesus is stated, and it is clear that God is to be cut, and not for him, because he is holy, sinless, and so he was cut for us all, not for him. But the first coming of Jesus was as a man, not as king or a prince. Only a holy man to be anointed as he was before the crucifixion. But he will come again to reign and as the Prince of Peace, as told by Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So, as difficult as it can be for some, this prince is probably Jesus returning to rule over his kingdom, because Daniel chapter 9 verse 24 states that this 70 weeks are to make the atonement of sins and achieve everlasting righteousness and to put an end to transgression. And that transgression is to be ended in the city of Babylon, Jerusalem, where the sanctuary is. Remember that Jesus himself is the temple and that Jerusalem will be rebuilt. Personal interpretations of the beasts presented in Daniel and Revelation. Prophecies. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Daniel chapter 7 verse 4-8, KJV, the first beast. Daniel's first beast. Leopold II of Belgium, Extreme Capitalism 1884. Like the lion was in Leopold's Belgian coat of arms. Belgium equals the kingdom of the lion. The wings were plucked. Leopold II's dynastic coat of arms was quietly altered. The eagle was removed or downplayed after World War I. Stood upon its feet as a man. He ruled as king but conducted the Congo atrocities through private business ventures, more as a ruthless businessman than monarch. A man's heart was given to it. Leopold eventually fell into mental decline before his death, possible reference to being humbled, weakened mentally or emotionally after his downfall. Leopold II matches these traits surprisingly well. His private ownership of Congo, enormous wealth extraction, and shocking cruelty fit the devouring nature of these beasts. And behold another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. Daniel chapter 7 verse 4-8, KJV, the second beast. Daniel's vision. Stalin's communist Russia. Bear. Russia has long been symbolized by the bear, culturally and politically. 3 ribs in its mouth. Losing 3 ribs. Remember Adam's removed rib. That represents territories, regions heavily devastated. Makes perfect sense. Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Russia itself, where millions were killed by famine and assassination. Raised up on one side. Without an odd number of ribs, 3, the bear would be unable to stood upright. Symbolizes the internal consumption of its own population in these 3 regions. Arise, devour much flesh. Stalin's policies led to immense destruction of life among his own people. Famine, purges, gulags, deportations, repression, millions dead. After this I beheld, and lo another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Daniel chapter 7 verse 4-8, KJV, the third beast. Daniel's third beast. 20th century fascist powers, namely Germany. Leopard, or horse in Hebrew. Revelation, Nazi Germany primarily, with its speed, aggression, and military might. The Blitzkrieg and the Panther, Tiger, armed tanks divisions. Mussolini was named as a leopard in a famous Italian book and movie. Japan's rapid conquests. The expansion of the Axis across Asia. 4 heads. 4 fascist regimes. Nazi Germany, Hitler, Italy, Mussolini, Japan. Hirohito, and Spain, Franco, 4 wings. Passerine, visually reminiscent of the swastika structure. Also symbolic of swift, light, coordinated movements of multiple armies. Dominion was given to it. These regimes were given power over vast territories during World War II. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Daniel chapter 7 verse 4-8, KJV, the 4th beast. Daniel's 4th beast. European kings heirs of the Roman Empire, European Union, different from all the others. This one is not just a man or a regime, it's an ultimate fusion of all prior systems. All others were not kings. This will be governed as by a monarch. Terrifying, dreadful, exceedingly strong. Combining capitalist, Leopold, greed, communist, Stalin, oppression, fascist, Hitler, Mussolini, Franco, Hirohito, dictatorship, and religious or divine self-worship. 10 horns, kings, kingdoms, absolutism, monarchy, alliances or blocks of nations under its dominion. Blasphemy and deification. Like Hirohito, this ruler will exalt himself, possibly claim divinity, directly challenging God, just like the little horn, speaks great things. Devours, breaks in pieces, stamps the residue. Ultimate global destruction, far surpassing previous totalitarian horrors. 10 royal houses of Europe. Belgium, House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. Netherlands, House of Orange-Nassau. Norway, House of Schleswig. Holstein-Sonderburg-Glucksburg. Spain, House of Bourbon-Anjou. Sweden, House of Bernadotte. United Kingdom, House of Windsor. Liechtenstein, House of Liechtenstein. Monaco, House of Grimaldi. Luxembourg, House of Luxembourg-Nassau. The Revelation First Beast, Antichrist. King Charles III currently holds a uniquely unifying position among Europe's monarchs. He is a direct descendant of both Queen Victoria, the progenitor of the Houses of Windsor, Sweden, Norway, Spain, and Denmark, and King Christian IX of Denmark, the patriarch of the Glucksburg line, meaning his bloodline crosses virtually all the main royal houses in northern and western Europe. Through intermarriage, his ancestry links to all 10 of the current European hereditary monarchies, including Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Monaco, Sweden, Norway, Spain, Denmark, the United Kingdom, and Liechtenstein. This makes him the most obvious living monarch whose bloodline includes all the major royal houses of continental Europe, symbolically uniting the 10 horns into a single lineage. The Revelation First Beast, Antichrist. King Charles III currently holds a uniquely unifying position among Europe's monarchs. He is a direct descendant of both Queen Victoria, the progenitor of the houses of Windsor, Sweden, Norway, Spain, and Denmark, and King Christian IX of Denmark, the patriarch of the Glucksburg line, meaning his bloodline crosses virtually all the main royal houses in northern and western Europe. Through intermarriage, His ancestry links to all 10 of the current European hereditary monarchies, including Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Monaco, Sweden, Norway, Spain, Denmark, the United Kingdom, and Liechtenstein. This makes him the most obvious living monarch whose bloodline includes all the major royal houses of continental Europe, symbolically uniting the 10 horns into a single lineage. King Charles III unites 3 key European royal dynasties in his blood. The Windsor dynasty via his mother's lineage, the Glucksburg-Oldenburg line via his father, the Mountbatten-Battenberg family also via his father. This unique combination underlines his role as a genetic crossroads of Europe's modern royal houses. The Revelation First Beast, Antichrist. King Charles III fits the little horn symbolism quite well. Little can refer not only to size but to low political importance or visibility at first. King Charles has lived his whole life in the shadow of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who reigned for 70 years. In modern constitutional monarchy, he holds no direct political power. He is a symbolic head of state, not a ruler. Therefore, today, he appears insignificant politically, just as a little horn would start. He is also lawlessness. In the United Kingdom and several Commonwealth realms, the king, or monarch, is legally immune from prosecution. The principle is known as sovereign immunity. The king can do no wrong. He cannot be arrested, sued, or criminally charged while reigning. This gives him a unique legal status above ordinary citizens and even above government structures. The Revelation First Beast, Antichrist. The king's number. Rollo to William the Conqueror. We have 6 generations in the direct male line. 1 Rollo. 2 William Longsword. 3 Richard I, the Fearless. 4 Richard II, the Good. 5 Robert I, the Magnificent. 6 William I, the Conqueror. 6 male leaders form the full Norman dynasty before the English monarchy begins. The Revelation First Beast, Antichrist. The king's number. 6 male leaders form the full Norman dynasty before the English monarchy begins. His full dynastic sequence is 1 Normans, Rollo right pointing arrow William I, 2 Plantagenets, Henry II onward, 3 Tudors 4 Stuarts 5 Hanover 6 Saxe-Coburg and Gotha later known as Windsor, present, 6 dynasties. The Revelation First Beast, Antichrist.